Natty or not, Greg Doucette. I'm gonna need Natty or not to start rolling in. I'm feeling discredited.
And so here it is, the Natty or not feeling discredited anymore. Coach Greg, and in today's video, we're going over popular social media influencer Max Taylor. He has close to 8 million followers on TikTok, couldn't believe it. 700,000 Instagram, over 100,000 YouTube. But is he in fact natural, and does he offer quality scientific information? And I gotta admit, never heard about this guy until recently. Made a video, said, do a Natty or not on me.
Natty or not, Greg Doucette. I'm gonna need Natty or not to start rolling in. I'm feeling discredited.
And so I started watching his videos, checked him out on TikTok, discovered what all the fuss was all about. Guy is hilarious, he's a character, very funny and entertaining videos. And so I had some questions, reach out to him, and told me some interesting answers. The first question I had is, what's with the stash? You trying to be Chris Bumstead? What's going on? Why are you rocking the stash? His response, yeah, I like Chris Bumstead, but it has nothing to do with that. It's all about getting the single moms. And I was thinking, is this guy best friends with Jesse James?
I mean, other than that, the mustache and stuff, I mean, I do follow Chris Bumstead, but I got the mustache and the mole for the single moms at first, Greg.
And so I was surprised to see he's only 21 years of age. I can't imagine being this famous at only 21 years of age. 8 million followers. I think I have a lot of fans, 1.4 million. Imagine being this guy with that much influence at such an early age. And so I asked him, what got you into working out? What propelled you to get into the world of fitness? And he said, and I'm sure many of you can relate, I was bullied for the majority of my life growing up for being weak and smaller than everyone else, especially when it came to sports. And so I pretty much started hitting the gym because I was insecure and I wanted to meet up with other people's standards around me. Soon after, he fell in love with it and no longer cared about what other people thought. He did it for him. And so you can see that in his videos. He doesn't care about being judged. He does the videos he wants. He's a funny guy, posting TikTok videos, also doing gaming. But his true passion, well, that's in the gym, and that's how we can relate. I inquired about his natural status, and he was adamant, saying, I've never touched any PEDs. I'm 100% natural, still making gains. However, he's not 100% against it. He says one day, perhaps in a few years, when he stops making progress, when he's more educated, knows all the pros and cons about it, that perhaps one day he will in fact use PEDs. But for now, he's not using them. He is 100% natural. And so I do believe him. I believe that he's natural, that he's making progress. He's in his first 6 years of training. That is when you're going to make the most progress. There's absolutely no reason why you should be using PEDs. We've only been training 5 or 6 years. You have not hit your natural genetic limit, and so why take it now? If you're ever going to take PEDs, which I highly suggest you don't, do so after you've reached your limit. And remember, always do so with the advice of a doctor. Never break the law. Don't be bad. And because he's very confident, he has so many followers, I don't think he needs to use PEDs to attract the audience that he has. He's not a competitive bodybuilder. He hasn't set foot on a powerlifting stage. He already looks aesthetic. And so why would he need to use PEDs? And so when deciding to see if he's natural, I had to go back and look at his old photos. What did he in fact look like? Did he put on a significant amount of muscle in a short period of time? Or did he make normal and natural expected progress? Well, at his all-time heaviest, his most bulked up, he was 212 pounds. Remember, this guy, 6 feet tall. He's no Manly, he's not Coach Greg. And so 6 foot, 212, how did he look? Well, not bad. He had about 25% body fat, certainly had some muscle development. He wasn't overly developed, never had the six-pack. And that was 2 years ago, before the Cove. He decided, had enough of feeling sluggish, I'm not feeling the best. He decided to go on a cut, and boy, did it ever work. And in particular, he's been cutting for the last 8 weeks to do a photo shoot. When you do a photo shoot, you cut below what is a healthy maintenance weight for you. When you drop below your ideal main gaining weight, for him, perhaps he's slightly under 10% body fat, it's hard. You have less energy or more hungry, harder to make the gains in the gym, and so on. And so his current weight, 185 pounds a few days out from the photo shoot. And so at 6 feet tall, photo shoot shape, 180 pounds. With 6 years of training under his belt at the age of 21, I think that's reasonable. 6 foot, 180? It's not massive, it's not huge, but certainly it's aesthetic. And doesn't this guy look amazing? Following this, is he going to maintain at 9% body fat? Of course not. He's then going to go on a bulk because when you're single digit body fat, it's not conducive to making gains. You don't feel good, and so he's going to go up to perhaps 12% body fat, a weight he says he can maintain without struggling too much, and then he's going to put on size from there. And prior to being a social media influencer, he wanted to be a coach. He was gathering knowledge, learning about training, dieting, and so on, so that he could coach other athletes to be physically fit. How can you not like that? How can I not support this guy? And so in the last few weeks, he's been not feeling the best. It's tough, hard mentally. He has to have some cheat days. He's feeling weak in the gym. And so he understands what it's like to go through competition prep. And imagine this, at approximately 9% body fat, which is what he'll be for the photo shoot, he would still need to diet 3 to 6 more weeks to be in a competition. He's already starting to feel the negative side effects of dieting. And if he had to do a contest, this would go on for a month or more, especially when you're natural. If you're natural and you cut too low, you are going to suffer from low levels of testosterone. In comparison, those on HRT or using PDs, they're not going to have crushed testosterone levels from being on a cut for too long. The guy sponsored by Young LA got kicked out of zoo culture. Why? Because he spoke honestly about some other clothing brands. Bradley Martin, not one to allow people to speak openly about what they think. And so personally, I hate that. He should have every right to give his opinion on what he thinks. He's being open and honest, talking about the clothing. Don't like it? You have the right to express it. Same as the videos I make. I critique other people, other YouTubers. I give you my opinion. I say, I agree, I disagree with what that person says. We have every right to express our opinions as long as we're not lying. And so let's go over his video. 3 things I wish I knew when I started lifting. See if he's giving out quality information.
I mean, I don't want to get involved with the whole drama if you don't know what's happening. A couple fellas were exposed for Photoshop. Photoshop isn't good, and that's universally known.
And so I don't want to get involved in the drama, but here's my exact opinion. I'm against it. You shouldn't do it. Sounds like Coach Greg. I do want to get involved. I want to say my opinion. Morphing photos, changing the way you look, lying about your physique to sell more products, that's pretty low. It's kind of like being a fake natty. Only in my opinion, it's even worse. At least the fake natties, they actually look like that. But if you Photoshop your waist, make it 3 inches smaller, morph up the biceps, arms, chest, make you look gargantuan, well, you're selling a lie.
My whole premise is setting up a realistic expectation for like what's attainable naturally. So it's like, why the fuck would I morph my pictures into something that I'm not?
And so he makes a great point. He doesn't want to give unrealistic body standards. He looks like this. He's natural. He shows you the best photos, the best he looks, but it's not a lie. He's not going to morph his photos. He's not going to take PDs and lie about it. And I do believe if he ever uses PDs, he will come out and say, hey, I'm using my first cycle. This is what I decided to do. I don't think he's going to lie. And if he does, well, I'll be sure to call him out. You know you'll be sending me the photos saying, hey, Coach Greg put on 15 pounds of muscle in 2 months. What is going on?
I was 185 this morning. I'm starting to feel more sluggish, getting hungrier, just like shit like that. Like I'm starting to finally feel the cut.
It is a nightmare to get into contest shape, and unless you've done it, you certainly have no idea what I'm talking about. You might have suffered a little bit. I'm craving burgers. I've been dieting for 2 months. There's a difference between craving a burger and a fry at 9 or 10% body fat and feeling like death when you're 5% body fat or less.
I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. You got some penis skin going.
FYI, we call it dick skin, not penis skin, but hey, I'm 46 years old. Maybe the terms have changed.
I'll probably go to LA, kind of like enjoy stuff in LA. But when I get back, I'm going to start like a bulk series.
And by bulk, as he told me this in private, he's going up about 5 pounds of fat, up to 12% body fat. It's not a bulk to get fat, sloppy in the off season. It's a bulk to get up to a healthy weight for him. Remember, it's all about being healthy.
I've low-key been thinking about going back to powerlifting. Should I powerlift or should I bodybuild?
The challenge of dieting for a bodybuilding competition are astronomical, way harder than you expect. And so unless you're 100% sure you want to dedicate yourself to doing a bodybuilding show, don't do it. And so my opinion, stick with powerlifting.
What are these? Look at that. Little Young LA on the back.
Am I the only YouTube influencer who hasn't been approached by Young LA? Imagine Coach Greg, Young LA, oh, we don't watch him, he's too old. It's called Young LA, I'm 46, I'm too old to be part of Young LA. And so what did I do? Well, I created my own clothing brand, of course. Harder than last time, got the red circles, we got shorts, pants, shirts, and so on.
Max, how do you bulk? And I'm like, bro, you have to eat in a caloric surplus.
You eat in a calorie surplus. Literally, that is exactly how you do it. All you have to do is be in a calorie surplus, you're gonna bulk. Bulking by definition means to get bigger, and to get bigger, you need to be in a calorie surplus. To the opposite extent, to cut, you need to be in a calorie deficit.
And I'm like, dog, if you think about it, some days you eat more caloric dense foods than others because I know your ass ain't tracking your food.
You can't just bulk, be in surplus one day, and then not eat enough the next. It's about consistency. Whether you're bulking or cutting, you need to be consistent with your approach to your diet.
The more consistent your diet is, the more consistent you will make progress. So if you track everything, you can play with more variables.
And so his advice, track what you're eating, be consistent, because if you're only bulking one day and cutting the next, then you're probably eating at maintenance. And so if you want to really put on a lot of size, please be consistent, track your progress. You're gonna get the results that you want.
Necessarily just caloric dense foods. Peanut butter. Peanut butter. That shit is like one spoonful is 190 calories.
Yeah.
And so you can probably see why I keep cautioning people on a diet to be careful with peanut butter. Saying one spoon, it's gone, 190 calories. Do you know how easy it is to get in the calories when you're eating peanut butter? And so if you're cutting, try not to gain weight, you have to do the opposite.
Number 2, things I wish I knew before I started lifting. Form overweight.
And his next tip, form overweight. And by that he means don't ego lift. So many people go in the gym, they throw in the heavy weights, they just care about making progress. They always want a progressive overload. Every week, let's do an extra rep, let's add 10 pounds to the bar. Can't do that all the time. Improve your mind-muscle connection, learn to use the proper form, speed of movement, watch videos, learn from other YouTubers. For example, Mike Israetel. Get better at your form and the strength will come. Start with form. Learn how to do everything with impeccable form. And from there, then you can add in the weights. Then you can progressive overload harder than last time. And so many people think 6 feet tall, you have to be at least 200 pounds to have a good body. Does he not look amazing? 185 pounds. And in contest shape, he'd be in the 160s on stage dehydrated. And so stop thinking you need to be massive or use PDs to look good. Trust me, 6 feet, 185 pounds, that is an incredible and muscular physique.
The last thing I wish I knew before I started lifting is sleeping is the best thing you can do for recovery.
And tip number 3, sleep is underrated. You need to get your sleep. You need to recover. If you're only sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night versus 8, the difference substantial. Get the sleep that you need, recover properly, you will get even better gains in the gym. Highly recommend you've watched this entertaining and knowledgeable guy. Got a great future ahead. He's only 21 years of age. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IB Pro. Please watch the bloops. And as always, harder than last time supplements, including Turkesterone, creatine, pre-workout, protein powders, G-Shred. So much I can't list it. And don't forget the friggin' cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe to become a newsletter. Get the free training program. Do that. Subscribe. Click the bell button. Comment for the algorithm. And until next time, I am out.